Okay, this might be my game of the year for 2023. Final Fantasy XVI is looking freaking incredible, and recently a bunch of media outlets, not me, got access to a 2 hour to 3 hour demo showcasing a specific gameplay section of the new Final Fantasy game, and I've watched a good amount of the coverage. I've watched IGN, I've watched GameSpot. I wanted to look at the combat specifically because the game is being led up by Yoshi P. He's the director for Final Fantasy XIV, which is one of my favorite games of all time. So I had trust in the storytelling department. This world looked imaginative, it looked Final Fantasy, and it looked intriguing, and the story seemed a mature twist on a world that oozes Final Fantasy elements from nearly every pore. However, with a shift close to the action RPG genre, I wanted to see how the combat would actually pan out. Having seen some of it now, and not just in highly edited trailers, yeah, this looks freaking fun as hell. I don't know who was the genius over at Square Enix that decided to have the dog be a companion that helps you out in combat, but freaking kudos to you, because that is absolute brilliance. Best boy helps you and can do combo attacks with you in boss fights? Let's go, okay. Crap, I have no emotional attachment to any of these characters, but I saw one of the scenes in the GameSpot coverage where Clive is fighting Benedicta on the castle roof. Benedicta's about to go in for the KO on Clive. The dog comes out of left field, immediately leaps and bites down on Benedicta's right arm, stunning her for a little bit so Clive can get back up and get into the fight. I'm talking synergy, I'm talking combos. Let's go. The dog has its own command structure as well. The combat overall at least gives off the appearance of simplicity with a lot of visual spectacle surrounding it because of the icon system. So those who don't know, icon is essentially the new Final Fantasy would for summon. So if you're familiar with, say, Final Fantasy X, with summoning all those different, you guessed it, icons or summons, Ifrit, Garuda, Shiva, Ramuh, all those jabronis, yeah, Clive can channel those icons through himself. And in the demo that we saw, he had Phoenix, Garuda, and Titan. And it looked like Titan was used for defensive operations, so like using a giant stone arm to shield from various attacks, while also having apparently some charged attacks as well. From what I gathered in the GameSpot coverage, Phoenix seemed to be a gap closer and gives you a lot of agility. And from what I've seen, I'm pleasantly surprised by the apparent number of mechanics that can be thrown at you through the gameplay. There's like this dual mini-boss that had mechanics that seemed like they were straight out of Final Fantasy XIV, and combine that with the action RPG system, which is very fast-paced and visual spectacle, and just leaning into that idea, blending these two ideas of having MMO boss fight mechanics combined with that fast-paced action combat, that could be a match made in heaven, and it looked very intriguing to me. I want to get my actual hands on with this combat system, just feel how responsive these combos really feel, because they look impressive to put out, but I want to know if it's just a matter of X, 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 X triangle. I want to see how it actually feels to play, you know? But so far, at least visually, for what I've seen, it looks like it's going to be a good time. And my biggest bone of contention with this game, the biggest sticking point that I had going into it, was how they're going to treat the icon battles. So that for those who don't know, there are going to be sections in this game where you essentially transform into a giant icon. So you turn it into Ifrit, and you have this giant monster battle, kaiju battle, think Pacific Rim, 1v1 against another icon. And in the demo that was shown, it was Ifrit, you the player, versus Garuda. I can't say I'm sold, because mechanically speaking, there may be one pitfall that may be unique to Garuda as a boss because of the nature of Garuda's combat. But it's very cinematic, it's very methodical. You're not going to be spamming a lot of buttons. You're going to do the attack button and you're going to hit the jabroni. You can do a lunge attack to close the distance, which looks cool. You also have a fireball mechanic, and you have an evade, so you essentially sidestep a move that's coming at you. Mechanically simple, like I said. However, the major sticking point for me is the fact that it appeared like Garuda screwed off to Narnia every 5 seconds, so you would have to eventually close the gap and then try and evade a Garuda attack. I am assuming that because Garuda is a bird essentially and is the icon of wind, that going up against the icon of fire that is giant and bulky, that Garuda is trying to use range to their advantage So you have to close the gap and close the distance while not getting hit as much. I can understand that, and if that's a unique idea for the combat against Garuda, I'm fine with it if it's a one-off. However, if every icon battle essentially devolves into the boss screwing off to another area code and then launching attacks at you, waiting for you to close the gap, and then you're allowed to hit one button, rinse, repeat, I probably won't end up liking that system as much. However, having said that, there's two other factors going on here. One, is that style of combat unique to Garuda? If it is, cool. Second, how long is this? Do you run the danger of this fight becoming a bit of a slog? I'm going to err on the side of optimism because, again, they haven't given me a reason to doubt them yet. I trust Yoshi P to create a cohesive and fun and engaging product, and I believe the guy in charge of the Devil May Cry combat system, or at least the gameplay, is running up the combat system for Final Fantasy XVI. So, I mean, you're combining good with good here, and from what we've seen, it appears to be really good. I may just be overanalyzing and overthinking things, maybe being a little bit of a pessimist around this, but I would love to be able to get my hands on with this system at some point. They've said that we're going to have bigger areas as well, because the castle seems very linear in its overall design, in which case, cool, but I need to actually see those larger areas and how that's handled. I don't mind it not being fully open-world, and if it goes into a more larger section, instanced world, so more in line with, say, like a Xenoblade 1, 2, and 3, or more like Xenoblade 1 and 2, I can be far more inclined to like that style. Again, it's going to depend upon the style of the gameplay for Final Fantasy XVI. I want to see how they tackle the side content. I want to see more of the RPG elements, because the things that we have seen so far with the accessories and the talent trees looked very promising to me. It seems to be iterating on the system established in Final Fantasy VII Remake, especially with the core system. In that game, each weapon you could upgrade, and it would have its own individual cores that you could unlock that would have supplementary smaller upgrades that you can choose to use. There's a lot of systems in this game that could be very interesting and fun over the course of its stay, and I walk away from all the trailers that we have seen so far, and from the gameplay that I've seen, I walk away feeling very optimistic about this. The story and the world seems extremely intriguing to me. I can already tell the soundtrack's going to be an absolute bop. Oh my god. I'm pretty sure they got Soken on call for this. It's going to be incredible. I'm going to need that soundtrack immediately. Even from the songs that I've heard so far. Oh my god, it sounds incredible. The visuals look appealing. There's a 60 FPS mode, thank god. Best trend this industry has had in a long time. No PC version's disappointing, however I will be playing on the PS5. And overall, I'm very optimistic. From the releases we have seen so far for 2023, this is probably going to be in the running for my Game of the Year. I'm a big Final Fantasy guy, and the world and the themes and pretty much everything about it just seems like it was tailor-made for my interest in what I enjoy out of Final Fantasy. I like the summons. I'm always down for a good old revenge story. The combat seems very fast-paced and action-packed, visually focused while also having some mechanical complexity to it. The customization looks fun, visuals look fun, the music looks amazing, sounds amazing, story's very intriguing. I'm ready. I am very optimistic to excited. So I'm going to call the video there for the day. Thank you all for tuning in. Hope you all enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe. It really helps the channel out and helps support future content, and I greatly appreciate it. And hit the bell icon to be notified for when I upload in the future. Leave a comment down below with your thoughts, your opinions on Final Fantasy XVI so far. Are you excited for it? Not feeling the whole genre pivot for Final Fantasy as a whole? Let me know. I'd love to hear your thoughts and hear your opinions and hear your perspectives. Stay safe, everybody. Have a great day, and I hope to see you all again next time. Bye-bye, everybody.